All right, money talk. It's not cryptocurrency talk today, but we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about wealth real quick, real swift, real fast, so pay attention. I just had a supporter contacting me. Supporter asked, he said, Jackson, I'm building my music career, my music income. And he said, I'm determined to not ever sign a deal. I want to remain independent at all times, but I'm looking for ways to increase my revenue. What do you think? How can I gain wealth? Now, I want to answer that real quick, and I want to first tell you about the investor mindset because the fact that you want to be independent is a great thing. However, let me tell you about some of the negatives that come with being independent. That may be a different way to view it. Here's just a different way to view it because independence is great, but a lot of times we gotta think wealthy, and wealthy people understand that you want to pay the least amount of tax as possible. A lot of times, if you just have a job and you getting paid at your job, they're gonna be taxing you 40 to 50% all the money you make. If you make $1,000, you really only keeping about 500, if that. Then you're gonna pay more money when you spend and buy stuff. You're gonna pay taxes. Um, or if you're independent and you own your own business, now you're gonna still pay taxes. It's less. Your taxes may only be 20 to 30% in taxes. But here's the deal: if you can get investments there, especially like in real estate, etc., now you can get your investments and you can pay damn near zero in taxes, almost zero, or under 10%. Now, this is what you want to do. Let me tell you something. And this is what wealthy people do. They don't work for their money, right? The reason why they don't pay a lot of taxes is because they don't have jobs. They don't really work for their money. Why? Hold on. What you mean wealthy people don't work for their money? So you probably thinking about LeBron James, or you think about athletes or famous entertainers. Those people, I'm not you. Those it's the difference between being rich and wealthy. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're wealthy. All right. Wealth is when your money makes money for you. Being rich is you just got a lot of money. But that doesn't mean that money is being earned and making you more money. All right. A rich person could get $1 million today and then lose it tomorrow. And then they have to go out and try to earn another $1 million tomorrow. So they constantly putting in more work. Eventually, that money is going to go less, less, and less. And then they're going to be back broke again if they can't continue to make money. A wealthy person is a person that they could go on vacation for a month, come back home, and guess what? They still just made $1 million. They didn't put on any work. In fact, they went to sleep, went for a day, woke up the next morning, and they have more money coming in. They got checks coming in because they have investments. So wealthy people invest. Here's how I look at it. I live in Chicago. There's about 500,000 black people in Chicago. Me personally, I'd rather have 1% of all of their income. Whatever you put up, them 500,000 people, add up all their income, I'd rather get 1% of that coming to me every single month than to have 100% of all of my own efforts. So instead of me being a owner and trying to like own a business and now I get 100%, and because my question to you is this: what's 100% of zero? Zero. Would you rather make $1 million in a year that you had to earn on your own, or you can just sit and let checks come in? Let's say 500,000 people in Chicago, all their income collectively is, we can say $500 million. We're just going to say just in a year. And you get 1% of that, and that comes to you every single month, and you're not putting in any work. What's better for you? So this is what wealthy people do: is they create leverage. They leverage other people's money. The question is, how can you get other people to get a check that comes to you every single month? So this is why that mindset of only saying I'm going to always be independent, I'll never sign a deal. I respect the spirit, but at the end of the day, we got to know the game, and you got to know everything can be negotiated. So you want to make the best deal. There's nothing wrong with making a deal. It just has to be a deal that's going to still allow you to have control, and a deal that's going to put you in a position so that way you can still have a tremendous amount of cash flow even when you don't work. So that's what you want to do. Now, traditionally, this is stuff is like real estate. This is stuff like If you own in multi-unit buildings, you own some buildings with 15 units or more, 30 units or more. And when I say real estate, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just you own a 2-bedroom house, or you own a 2-flat, 3-flat, 4-flat. No, I'm talking about you own a building that got at least 15 different tenants. Because remember, the more people that you can get in, that's going to contribute to your household, the better. You know, so that's what you want. The average person has only got 1 to 2 people contributing to their household. And this is even wealthy. I mean, rich people. You got some rich people who are millionaires, but it's maybe only, 1 or 2 of them that's bringing in all the money. In many situations, it may be an attorney. It may be, somebody that's a salesperson. But the ones that are really doing well are the ones that have 10, 15, 20 people contributing to their income. One way they do it is by having real estate properties, and you got people paying rent every single month. Is one way. That's one way. There's so many different things you can do in real estate, but that's just one way. There's other ways you can get cash flow as well. But I don't want to go through everything right now, because I just want to really talk about the mindset in general. So, just because it's a trend and everybody's saying, hey, always be independent. Independent is great, but it's really not about being independent. It's really about having control of your bag. And that's really what people want, because at the end of the day, you don't want to have to. Everybody not built for independence. Let's be real. Everyone's not built, because a lot of times the entrepreneur really they don't want to do the same everything every day. They want to contribute, but they want to sell to people. They want to try different things. They want to, travel the world. They always got ideas. So the moment you get that person and you make them own a business, and they are forced to be a manager, and now they got to manage everything on a day-to-day basis, which is what most businesses are, that same person is not going to succeed. This is why most businesses go out of business, because you got people playing themselves out of positions. They are visionaries, creative people who want freedom, but they're not managers, and that's a big problem. So put yourself in a position where you can do what you're really, really good at and what you're strong at. That's the key. That's what you want to do. And then if you can create cash flow off of it, that's even better. And the way you do that is by investing your bag. So even if you do a deal, it's cool. You don't have to always own every single thing. Let me tell you something. Some of the wealthiest people in the world, they don't own nothing in their name. What I'm saying? What you own, you create a estate, you create a trust on paper, you create a company, a LLC or a corporation, and then whatever you own, you can have it being placed within that company and that entity. So that way you have what's called limited liability. So that way if somebody tries to sue you, or you in trouble, or you going bankrupt, people try to take something from you, they can't get it because you don't own it. The company owns it. You just using it. And the company pays you a salary, and your income may be low. Most wealthy people, they personal income is probably very low, because they don't have a job. Income is for people with jobs. All right. Now, wealthy people, what they do is they get dividends. That's when they earn a percentage. It's called unearned income, or it's like a dividend, interest payment, stuff like that. So that's a little different. But you want to start thinking like an investor. So if you start your business, that's amazing. But put yourself in a position so that way all the money that you are making, even if you sign a deal, you take that money and then you just invest it and get cash flow. And that's what bosses do. So I hope that helps. I've been going kind of long. I didn't want to talk too long. But yeah, and this applies for all people across the board. So get it together. Hey, like the page, subscribe to the page, man, and make a move. I got to go. Holla at you later. Peace.